Welcome back to the Immigration Answer Show. My name is Jim Hacking. This is episode number 442. Can you believe it? We're almost to 450 episodes of the Immigration Answer Show. I will be here for the next hour answering as many of your immigration law-related questions as possible, unless we run out of questions. But I don't think that's going to happen. We already have the waiting room half full. So I hope you all had a nice week, that your weekend is off to a good start. I'm going to the soccer game tonight, and I'm excited about that. Let's go ahead and take our first question from, of all people, Question. You're on the show.
Hi, good morning, Jim. How are you?
I'm great. How are you doing?
I'm good. So I have a couple of questions. The first one is the national interest waiver. Do you assist with that, or can you recommend a lawyer for that?
Yes, we do, but here's my question. So I'm sort of conservative on these. I think there's a lot of attorneys promising people the moon when it comes to national interest waivers. So I always start by, I need to put the link in the comments. Let me do that, everybody. I always start with what is your field of study?
Oh, it's not for me. It's for a friend of mine, but I just wanted to know if I could recommend her to reach out to your team.
Sure.
But her field of study is finance. She's in the financial sector.
So my question to her would be, why can't she find a regular employer to sponsor her for a green card? Why is it in the national interest of the United States to not make her find an employer and go through the process just like everybody else?
But she's not currently in the United States.
Well, that doesn't change anything. That just means it's harder. I mean, again, why should the United States say, "Hey, lady, you don't have to follow the rules like everybody else. You get to go to the special way of getting a green card. Why can't you just find an employer?" And why does it benefit the United States? Obviously it benefits her, but why does it benefit the United States to give her a national interest waiver?
Okay. All right, cool. The second question I have is so if a friend of mine, she's here on the B1 B2 visa, she's known this guy for a while. They've known each other for over 10 years, right? And they want to get married. And I know there's like 30, 60, 90-day restriction. What do you recommend?
Is this the first time she's entered on that visa? Has she entered before?
Yes, she actually went to school here. So she came in on an F1, she went back, and she has been coming on a B1, B2 ever since. So this is not the first time she's here on B1, B2.
And when she got the most recent visit visa to the United States, what was the reason she said she needed it?
Vacation.
Okay, and did she take that vacation?
Yes.
Did she go and stay with her boyfriend on the very first day she arrived?
I don't think so. Because he wasn't in town. I don't think so. No, she didn't.
Okay, you understand there's like a difference. Like, I'm going on vacation, and then you go visit Miami, then you go to New York, then you go to where your boyfriend is, versus I'm going on vacation, but you fly right to your boyfriend's house and you never.
No, she didn't. She didn't fly right to see him. No, she didn't.
Okay, so if they wait 60 days and they decide to get married and they decide to file for a green card, everything should be okay.
Okay, so 60 days is okay, basically.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and then sorry, one last question. And then while they are waiting and she gets the adjustment of status rolling, is she allowed to go to school? While you're waiting for adjustment of status, are you allowed to go to school?
Some schools will let you. Some schools will make you wait until you get the work authorization card.
Okay, so once you get the work authorization card, you can go to school.
If the school will let you. Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right, that's it.
Awesome. You so much. Thanks so much. Have a good day.
You too.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye.
All right. Sakti's up next. Hey, Sakti.
Hi, Jim. How are you?
I'm great. How are you doing?
I'm good, thank you. I'm EB3 and employment-based. I applied for my priority date is 2013, and I born in India, but I'm holding Irish passport. But still, I go to India queue because of country of birth. And my daughter is in Ireland. She's doing medicine, and she has a EAD, and she applied for renewal of AP on August 20 this year, right? August 2023. Her AP is going to expire in January 2024. So after that, she cannot travel, right?
She's under your case, you mean?
Yeah, she's under my case, yes.
And she has advanced parole?
She has advanced parole, yeah, until January 2024, and she applied a renewal. She applied renewal in August 2023. But given this AP is taking a long time now, anyways, we expedite because of our basis on the studies.
Well, how much time is she spending outside the United States? Like, is she already studying in Ireland, or she's going to study in Ireland?
She already studying in Ireland, yeah.
She's already studying in Ireland?
Yeah.
So while she's had advanced parole, say, how long has her advanced parole been? How long has she been in Ireland going to school, I guess?
Oh, it's almost 4 years now, and she has to complete another 6 months, another 8 months to complete the course.
So is this her first advanced parole, or she had multiple advanced paroles?
So she's the second. She has one advanced parole, and she's renewed now. She applied for renewal,
but it hasn't gotten it yet.
Not yet. She hasn't got it yet.
How old is she?
She's 22, but she applied before 20th actually. Before she turned 21, she applied and she got EAD and advanced parole.
Okay. Sakti, this is way too complicated for you and I to talk about on a call like this. There's too many moving parts for me to say whether it's safe for her. I'm worried about her aging out. I'm worried about her being outside the United States on a green card application with advanced parole for big chunks of time. Advanced parole is supposed to be for a little trip. Advanced parole is not to keep my green card case alive while I go study in Ireland. That's not what advanced parole is for. Advanced parole is I need to go see grandmama back in India or Ireland or whatever. Okay. But this is probably not a good idea the way she's handling things.
Oh, really? Okay.
So my suggestion is that she not do what you're trying to do, or she's not going to get her green card. That's my knee-jerk reaction.
Okay. And in case, right, if she's not able to get advanced parole this time, can she come as ESTA? Since she's Irish passport holder, can she come on ESTA and can she renew?
Probably not, because she's demonstrated immigrant intent.
Okay, she can't come in ESTA?
I didn't say she can't. I said it's probably not going to work. She's demonstrated immigrant intent by saying, I want a green card. That they're probably not going to give her ESTA once they find out that there's a 485 pending for her.
Okay. The only way she can come back is through H1 or J1, is it?
Dude, you keep saying absolute things like this will work or not work. This is a gray area. What I'm telling you is what she's doing is not the way the rules are written. What she's doing is inconsistent with someone who says they want to reside in the United States. Advanced parole is for a 2 or 3 week or 4 week trip. It's not for studying full-time overseas. Okay. So, number one is I don't know if she's ever going to get a green card through you because she might age out. I don't know if she's aged out or not. I'd have to do all the analysis. But what I'm telling you is overall, this approach your family is taking to her lawful permanent resident status is not the way most people do things, and USCIS isn't going to like it, and the State Department isn't going to like it.
Okay. Sure. Okay. Sure. Thanks. And also one more question, right? So since my advanced parole is taking time, and I have a valid H1, so can I go out and come back as H1?
Do you have advanced parole?
I don't have advanced parole because it is pending. Advanced parole is pending. But if I want to travel, I have a valid H1 approved H1. So can I come back as H1?
Everyone loves to remind me in the comments that is possible, but I think that's a bad idea.
Oh, really? Okay.
I'm very conservative on this stuff. You're pushing the envelope lots of ways. I don't want you to push the envelope. I want everyone to be safe.
Yeah, okay. Sure.
Thanks, Ekti. Good luck. Okay. Yep, you got it. Paul's up next. What do you say, Paul?
How you doing, Jim?
I'm good, Paul. Why are you laughing? How you doing? Go ahead.
I got two screens open up here, so I got to plus the other one and then pay attention. So, hey, Jim, thank you for it. I have a few questions. So, my wife and I, we got married overseas, Liberia, to be more precise. So, I'm a citizen. I'm in the United States right now. I'm in Boston. So, I'm trying to file in I-130. And it's 64, I-64. My concern is I was married before. My previous spouse, she wasn't working. She have no income, but Big Ben, she was with me, so I added all my tax. return. So now that I divorced, I decided to send for my current spouse. So with the tax document that will be added on the as A64, what would USCIS have a problem with that?
So let's back up. Were you born in the United States?
No, I'm a naturalized citizen.
How did you get your green card?
Through Diversity Immigrant Visa Program, DV.
Okay. And when you came on DV, did you come by yourself or did you come with a spouse?
With a spouse.
And that spouse, were you married before you applied for DV, or was it between the time you got picked in DV and the time you came to the United States?
Oh, I'm sorry. Rephrase the question again.
Sure. When you applied for the diversity visa, when you first applied, were you married at that time or were you single?
Oh, I was single at the time.
And then you got selected in the lottery, right?
Yeah, I got married before I got selected. I got selected.
So between when you filed and when you found out, you got married.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that was before you found out that you were selected.
Correct.
And then you and that spouse came to the United States together on your diversity visa.
Correct.
From what country?
Liberia.
And then how long were you and that person married after you got to the United States?
From 2013 to 2016.
Okay, and has that person gotten their citizenship too?
Yeah.
Has that person gotten remarried?
I don't know. I don't know that way about right now.
Okay, but as far as we're talking, that was a real marriage. It wasn't just to get her added on to your DV. Okay, all right. So now you've divorced that person in the United States. The divorce was in the United States.
Yes. Yes.
And now you're married to a new person back in Liberia. And you have filed the I-130, or you're getting ready to file the I-130?
I'm trying to get in the process, but I want to hear your input.
You want to what?
I want to hear from you. I'm
Yeah.
trying.
Okay. So when did you get married to the person in Liberia?
April 8th this year.
So why have you waited 5 months to file? It's going to take forever. Why didn't you file as soon as you got back?
I don't know. I just had to put some paperwork together. That's all.
Okay, well, there's a saying in Arabic. My wife would say, "Yalla bina, hurry up, let's go." So I mean, you've wasted 5 months for no reason.
Oh wow.
I mean, you wasted 5 months. You could have filed in the middle of April. Now we're talking in October almost. So putting that to the side, you don't have to worry about the financial stuff now. You just need to get the I-130 out the door. That's the most important thing. So focus on proving up the relationship. Was your current spouse, were they ever married before?
Yeah, we got married together.
No. But before she married you, was she ever married to someone else?
No.
Okay. So, and your divorce was final before you got married to this new person?
Correct.
Okay. So you just need to focus on proving up the marriage and getting the I-130 out the door. As far as the tax stuff, now explain to me your question, because I don't know that I understand it. So later on, when you get to the national visa stage and you're working on the I-64, the affidavit of support, you had a question about the taxes. What's that?
Yeah, so the taxes I had on my tax form as my wife dependent. She wasn't working. She just started working she just started working last year. She started working because of school.
You're talking about your ex-wife now?
Yeah.
Who cares about your ex-wife? Why are we talking about your ex-wife and her working? Who cares?
Oh, that's I thought you were referring to the tax document.
I don't know what you mean, my brother.
Okay. Well, yeah, what was the question? I'm sorry.
You called me with a question. You had a question.
Oh,
you had a question about the taxes, but
yeah.
I'm trying to encourage you to file your I-130 because you're wasting time.
Okay.
Because you don't need to worry about your taxes.
Okay.
for a year from now.
Okay.
Which would only be 6 months from now if you had filed it back when you got back from your wedding.
Right.
So, that being said, what are you worried about when it comes to the time? So when you get to that stage, you're going to file an I-64. You're going to file your tax returns for the last 3 years. You said you divorced divorced your ex-spouse in 2016.
Right.
So that's old news. Nobody cares about her. She could be a bum. She could be a millionaire. None of that matters.
Okay. All right. No, it makes sense then. It makes sense. So my next question would be, so what's the difference between the adjustment of status and the
So she's overseas, right? Yeah. So you get that I-130 on file. That's going to take, like I said, a year to get approved by USCIS. That's one agency. That's the government agency that determines whether or not your marriage is real. Okay. Then your case will get sent to the National Visa Center. The National Visa Center is the start of processing by the State Department. So now you're going to deal with a totally different government agency, the State Department, and they're going to process her case. You're actually going to file this thing called the DS-260, which is like filing the I-130 all over again, but it's all electronic. So you do it all again, and then you pay the fees, and that's when you submit your affidavit of support and all the supporting tax documents.
Okay.
And then once they're satisfied, they say, Paul, your case is documentarily qualified. In other words, we have everything we need. Now we're just waiting for an interview in Liberia to open up. And then once we have that, then your wife will go to that interview. You won't go. She'll go by herself, and hopefully she'll get her visa, and be able to come to the United States.
Absolutely. Okay. All right. Thank you so much, Jim. I appreciate it.
You got it, Paul. Does that all make sense?
It makes sense a lot. It makes a lot of sense. Thank you.
See, buddy. Love eliminating confusion. I have good news, everybody. I have good news. Today's Saturday, so we always like good news on Saturday. James is here, and James is watching in Madagascar. I can't believe it. You guys know I've been waiting to have someone from Madagascar watch the show. Now we're going to have James on sometime, because my next big hope is to get a guest on from Madagascar. So one of these days, James, if you have one of your immigration questions, please come on and ask me. Now, speaking of interesting comments, here we go. Spicy Ray says, my only issue with Jim, he tends to be harsh on Nigerians and immigration, seeing them as being frauds. Well, the reality is you have Black Americans cheating the system. I'm not sure what that last part means, but I wanted to address the part about me being harsh on Nigerians. I am 100% not harsh on Nigerians. I just am trying to prepare people who happen to be from Nigeria for what's on the way towards them. Does that make sense? I love everybody who comes on this show. I believe everybody with whatever they tell me. I believe it, right? So I'm not harsh on Nigerians at all. I view myself as honestly preparing them for what they're up against. I didn't create that system. I'm not a proponent of that system. I think they treat Nigerians terribly. And so if there's some idea that I'm being harsh on Nigerians, I hope that's not the case, because that's not what I'm intending. What I'm intending is that we see the same scenarios on this show very often, which means that if we're seeing it, USCIS field offices and the embassy in Nigeria is seeing these issues all the time. So I hope that nobody feels like I'm being harsh on Nigerians, and I'm just telling you the patterns that we see, the kinds of things we see on this show, and most importantly, what they can expect when talking to an immigration officer, or when their case finally gets scheduled for an interview, or when they go to the embassy. I'm a light version of what they're going to get. So I only do that. I'll try to be more even-handed about it. But I don't hold Nigerian cases to a higher standard. I don't think that's being harsh on them. I'm just trying to educate them so that they're ready. You have historically white people disrespecting blacks, etc., and white people engaging in fraud behaviors every day. Look at Trump. Well, you're not going to get any lies from me there, Spicy Ray. Spicy Ray. All right. Julie's here. What do you say, Julie?
Hello.
How you doing?
I'm okay, thank you. So I'm on the show because I have a question. I filed my I-130 petition in July 4th, 2022. I'm married to a US citizen. Today I have absolutely no update, just a receipt notice. So I'm waiting for 15 months now. I know I can send an inquiry in January, but it's keeping like pushing forward and forward every time we check. My question is there something I can do about that? And if not, do you think it's late to send to file an employment visa? I'm a healthcare worker, so I wanted to know if it could help or not.
So you're overseas?
I'm overseas in France.
Your spouse is a U.S. citizen?
Yes, living in the US.
Any idea why they're sitting on the case? 15 months is longer than we're usually seeing.
No, I don't know why. I don't know why at all. So
Are you a French national, or are you from another country?
no, I'm a French national.
Okay. Have either of you been married before?
Never.
Where does your spouse live in the United States?
In Maryland.
Maryland. Okay. If I were you, what I would do is I would sue USCIS to get them to decide the I-130 and send it on to the National Visa Center. 15 months is a long time. They're
Okay.
probably going to take a look at it and approve it and then send it on to the National Visa Center so you can get to that next stage. I wouldn't mess around with the employment stuff. I would just focus on that.
Okay. To pursue them, like, what do I need to do exactly?
So that's something that our office does a lot of. We sue them a lot. So we could certainly help you with that. If you want to email the office, you can email us. Let me get the address. I'll put it on the screen so that you have it. If you email that info@hackingimmigrationlaw.com and say, my name's Julie, I was on the show on Saturday at around the 20-minute mark, they'll find the recording and then they'll reach out to you and they'll tell you what to do.
Okay, thank you so much.
Thanks, Julie.
Bye.
Bye-bye. All right. I saw our friend Antonio's here. Here he is. Hello, Antonio. How you doing, man?
Hey, Jim. What's up, buddy? Hey. So we're at the NVC stage. We're documentarily qualified. But wife is concerned about her past tourist visa application.
Yeah, I think I saw
She was
a comment.
denied twice.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was denied twice, once in 17 and 19 for not having enough ties to the country. She's concerned that
Tell your wife I'm going to make a video for her because this is a good question. I'm going to make what's your wife's first name? I'll use her name in the video even.
Perfect. Karima.
Karima. Okay. So generally in my experience, they don't hold prior visit visas against you unless you lied about something. So as long as like this is how I actually picture it in my head, Antonio. You apply for a visit visa, it gets denied. You wait 6 months, you apply for another visit visa, and that gets denied. Then a year later, old Antonio, my U.S. citizen, files a I-130 petition for me, my spouse.
Yeah.
And to me, they're like, haha, see, we were right. She really wanted to come to see this guy, but they don't hold it against her, right? They're like, now she's doing it the right way, so we'll process it. They might ask her about it, but mostly they're going to want to know if everything in it was accurate. As long as everything in it was accurate, they're not gonna. It's fine.
Okay. Because I didn't know.
Even three or four applications.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we didn't meet till 3 years after she had applied for a tourist visa. I didn't even know her.
Great. Perfect.
So we're good to go then. Sounds good. All right, brother. Appreciate you.
Bye, Antonio. See you, man. All right, now H&M's trying to make me mad. Wondering if I'm wearing a Chelsea jersey. Oh my God, I'd rather be dead than wear a Chelsea jersey. H&M. No way. I got to get my Tottenham Spurs gear. Tebebe's here. What do you say, Tebebe?
Hi, Jim. First of all, I would like to say thank you for what you're doing for the immigrant community.
Sure.
I am the regular person who watch your show, and I will go to my questions. I have two quick questions, and the first one is regarding N600. I applied for my daughter on December 2001, and I got the last notification, which they asked me additional evidence of residence, and I sent the school transcript plus the enrollment history, and I'm just waiting for their answer. Is it too early to do something, or should I wait for them until they reply? I gave them the answer on August 17th.
And this is at the embassy?
No. Here in the United States for the USCIS, the N600.
Oh, N600. Oh, yeah.
Yes.
I would give them a big. I'd be easy on them. I wouldn't push them too hard on an N600. So I would wait at least 6 months. Those just sort of take a while.
Okay.
Yeah.
The next question is for my friend. She married a U.S. citizen person, and she almost 10 years on this marriage, but she has a problem. She got 2 kids, but she would like to apply for the citizenship. The problem is she didn't updated her residence when she changed the place where she lived. No, so this thing will affect her when she apply for citizenship, right?
Did she move after she got her 10-year green card or before she got her 10-year green card?
After she got her 10 years green card.
So she just moved out to be away from the husband?
No. She's still with her husband, but he's not willing to apply for her, but she's trying to apply by himself.
She doesn't need him to apply for citizenship once she has her 10-year green card. She doesn't need him.
Okay. What about her? She didn't update her address when she changed the address.
That actually happens a lot, so I wouldn't worry too. That's not gonna. I mean, unless there's some kind of fraud or she's hiding the fact that she moved, or like she moved in order to get a benefit or something. No one's gonna care or even notice. She should do it sooner rather than later, but that's not a big deal.
So she needs to stated her addresses where she lived in the past, right? On the application.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just be honest. Nobody's going to go back and look to see what date she updated her address, unless it somehow impacts her immigration case, like the validity of her marriage. If that's not the case, then nobody cares.
Okay. All right. That's helpful. Thank you so much.
Bye, Tebebe. Thanks for the call, man. See ya. Bye. All right. Saya is here. Hello, Saya.
Good morning, Kim.
How you doing?
Good. How are you?
Are those Fruit Loops I see there?
Yes. Because I'm at work, that's right.
That's great. That's great.
I have 2 questions. One question is related with people who want to apply for DV lottery. My friend, he got married with one wife, but he already divorced, and the kid is like in full custody with his ex-wife, and now he have another wife, but without official marriage license. So he just live with her, and they have kids. And what is the option that he can apply for DV lottery? Should he leave all the kids?
Wait, I don't understand.
No, he has 2 wives. One is officially married and officially divorced, but the kid is full custody with his wife. He doesn't have any custody for the previous kid or the other kid with his previous wife. And the second wife that he is currently living with, they just live with each other, but they don't have a marriage certificate. But they have kids too. And now he wants to apply for DV lottery. And how can he list all the kids?
So this person hasn't applied for the diversity visa yet?
Not yet. He wants to apply in October, this October.
Okay, and he's still legally married to the first person?
No, legally divorced. They already divorced, but in the divorce decree, the court write down mention that he doesn't have any custody with the kid. The kid is fully support from the mom.
Okay, this is sort of a strange situation. So I have someone who wants to apply for the diversity visa. He's living with a woman, and that woman has a kid. That kid's not his.
His kid, but they don't have marriage license. They only live together, and that he is on his birth certificate, the new kid, but
So
they don't have marriage license.
He wants to apply for himself and the kid, but not the lady that he lives with. Why?
Yeah.
Why?
Because they don't have marriage license. He
So
said
why?
that.
Why not get married?
Oh, I don't know. I'm sorry.
But the plan is, if he gets selected in the lottery, he and the kid are going to come to the United States, but not the mom.
Mm-hmm. He said that.
Well, he's an idiot. That's the dumbest thing I ever heard. I mean, I guess if he wants, so is his name on the child's birth certificate?
Yeah.
How old is the kid?
I think like 3 years old now. And the first kid with the ex-wife like 10 years old.
And he wants to apply for both those kids.
Yeah.
Well, okay, yeah, he can apply for both of them. That's fine. But they're going to think something's weird because he's not applying for the mother.
I feel that too.
Yeah.
But I don't understand.
Yeah. Well, just tell him it's a dumb idea.
Okay. One more question. My friend, she is a U.S. citizen, and her parents already here. They used to apply for a green card for their parents, but they went to interview. They got I don't know the final decision, and she cannot find the no PR action. And now she want to reapply, and she want to know how much will you charge her for both her parents to adjustment of status in here, but they already applied one time last 2 years.
So whatever happened to that old case?
They don't know. She doesn't know. She cannot find the no PR action, and she doesn't remember.
And the mom and dad just stayed, and now they're thinking about filing another application?
Yeah.
Well, why don't you just have them send me their receipt notices? We'll try to figure out what happened to the old cases, because if the old cases are still around, we would sue, and that would be one charge, or if they're starting over, that would be a different charge.
Oh. So I will call her and ask her to find the receipt number, because when she called me last week, she said that she cannot find anything. She only know that she applied for them. They went to interview. They never get green card.
Well, they gotta have something with the case number on it. They got to. All we need is the case number.
After you get the case number, you can track down all the history. Then you can like just estimate if new case, like how much for the filing start all over again.
Well, usually for an adjustment, it's $5,700 for us plus the filing fees for one person. We'd give them a discount for mom and dad, and mom and dad cases are a little easier, so probably $10,000 or something like that.
Is the old case still alive?
The old case is still alive, then probably around $5,000.
Okay, I will tell her that.
Thank you, Saya. Have a good day.
Thank you.
All right. When that Chelsea issue came up, somebody pointed out that Tottenham is playing, and that's true. I got the game going here, and I'm sort of watching the game and talking to all of you. So let me fix my screen. That's sort of amazing. All right. Rakesh is here. What do you say, Rakesh? Rakesh, are you with us?
Hi, Jim. Good morning.
How you doing?
Good. Thank you. How about you?
I'm great. What's going on?
Okay, Jim. You have taken me off from the camera, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Jim, I was at your show a couple of times, and in the last show, I requested a query regarding converting the category from F1 to F3.
Okay.
If the beneficiary gets married.
Yep.
So is it possible to do that, or someone needs to file a fresh petition?
So I have a situation where a U.S. citizen filed for their unmarried child.
Right.
And that child has married. And can I convert it to an F3? I don't think so. I'd have to check. Did I tell you that already, that I had to check?
Yeah, you told me that.
I haven't had a chance.
Okay. Okay,
Rakesh,
Jim.
Rakesh, if you want me to really check, send me an email and remind me.
Sure, I'll do that. Not an
Okay.
issue.
Thanks, buddy.
Okay, Jim, one more question.
Yeah.
How do visa bulletin work?
How do visa bulletin work? What are you talking about? That's what do you want to know?
Actually, under F2B category,
Mm-hmm.
Because in one of the reports they published, USCIS published sometime in May, they have shown that I-130 petitions for F2B categories, pending petitions are approximately 2,700.
2007?
100.
What?
So the pending petitions under F2B categories, in the report published sometime in May, and they stated that the pending petitions under F2B categories are 2,700.
Oh.
But if you see that the overall number for green card under F2B category is 26,266, but still the dates are not moving from the last 25 months.
Yeah.
So my concern is, how does visa bulletin work?
So that's a really complicated question. As far as you're wondering, so in each of those categories, there's a certain number of congressionally available visas available every year, right?
Right.
And if they don't use them all in one category, they can use them in another, that kind of thing. You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
So it's actually really hard to figure out how that all works and who gets the preference. So I mean, I don't know the exact way that it all works. Like there's a guy named Charlie Oppenheimer who just stepped down. Like that was his job, and like he would explain it to immigration lawyers, and everyone was like, "Wow, it's really complicated." So I mean, that's well beyond my knowledge as far as how they exactly do it. I just know that you got to watch the visa bulletin, and that's all that matters.
Oh, okay. Thank
Sorry.
you, Jim.
Bye,
No
Rakesh.
problem. Have a nice day.
Yep. Anthony's here. Hello, Anthony.
Hi, Jim. Thank you for connecting with me. I'm so
Sure. How you doing?
I'm doing good. I'm a little bit worried. I came here on a student visa in 2015, and I got married in 20 to I'm a US citizen in 2017. And then I got my 2 years green card, and everything was okay. And in 2020, November of 2020, I filed my I-751 to remove condition. We filed it jointly. But in 2022, my wife divorced me, and then I had to notify USCIS, send them a letter that I'm no more married. So they scheduled me for interview in March, which I attended. And after the interview, I came back. Then the next month, another letter for another interview came. I went for the interview again. The same agent was who I met. And then, she asked me some questions and said that this wasn't supposed to. It was as if the second interview was a mistake. So, I tendered, some evidence that I have and all that. So she said it's okay that we should go, that she will make a decision. But the decision has not been made up till this very moment. So I'm kind of worried.
What's the receipt date on the 751?
You said that. Say that again.
What is the receipt date on the 751?
November 13th, 2020.
And when you filed it, you and your spouse filed it together?
Yes.
Did you ask for it to be converted to a solo? Did you ask them to, or did you file a new one, or what happened?
No, I didn't file a new one. I wrote a letter because I called, I got a lawyer on the phone. He asked me just to write them a letter telling them to treat it as, married in good faith, but divorced.
Mm-hmm. And so when the interview came up, they knew that was your request. They knew that's what you wanted.
Yes, because they have the letter with them. I also have a copy.
Okay. So here's the $1 million question. Are you ready, Anthony?
Yes.
Did your ex-wife write them a letter and say you're a shitbird?
I don't know that. I don't think so. But when they called me for the second interview, that's when I was like, why would they do this? I suspected maybe she did something, but even after our divorce, because I didn't actually know she divorced me, I wasn't sent no letter, I was not anything. So, but when I went to the courthouse, because that's when I got the lawyer. So he asked me maybe I should find out what she said on the divorce petition for divorce.
Smart.
So I went and pulled it and found out that she wrote there for the reasons why she was divorcing me was that I abandoned her since 2019. But that was a total lie.
Yeah, but USCIS might have that. They might not even need anything else. They might just have gone and gotten the divorce complaint. And that fucks up your timeline.
Well, the lady didn't mention anything like that.
Wait, so let's back up. Let's back up to this divorce that you didn't know about. So what was the date she filed for divorce? Roughly.
It was because it was approved final, decreed on March 17th. So she filed it around
what year?
2022, last year.
Okay, how long was it pending? Actually, let's do this. What's the start date on your green card? Your 2-year green card. When did you was it the first green card that you got? When did it start?
January 29, 2019.
Okay, and that's your 2-year green card. Okay. And then I guess in late 2020 you filed the 751 with her, right?
Yes, November 2020.
Okay. And then when did she file for divorce?
She filed for divorce in I think it was in that same early 2022. I didn't know because we still hang out, we still do things, but it was actually I moved out. The house where we were staying was sold. So, I moved to my auntie's place, and I asked her to come. She wouldn't come because, she smokes weed, and it's
Wait,
not
so
allowed.
hold on. So early 22, she files for divorce?
Yes.
When did you find out that she had filed for divorce?
2023.
So
no, not in 2023. I found out late 2022, around August. That's when I found out.
And then in that divorce application that she filed, she said that you abandoned her in 2019.
Yes.
So my question would be, why would she sign an I-751 in 2020 if you had abandoned her in 2019?
That's what I don't know. She did that. I believe when I found out, I confronted her. She said she got to do something, that she got to find a place for her to live. I was like, okay, the COVID came, the house where we were staying was sold. You have your things, you want to smoke your weed, you want to do all these things, but why would why don't you just come and stay with me here so that we can build up? She doesn't want to stay here. But she later got Section 8. So I believe that's why she told that lie.
Okay, so what's your question for me, Anthony?
My question is, how bad, how
real bad. It's real bad. She has said in government, she has filed things that are inconsistent. She filed one government form, a state government form, that said you abandoned her in 2019. In November of 2020, she filed an I-751, said everything's cool with our marriage. So that's not good. How are things with you and her right now?
We still talk. We talked. Yes, she called me one time and was about 2 or 3 weeks ago and was telling me that she felt so sorry what she did to me, that she forgave her. I was like, hey, you got to go and write to the government and told them that you lied on that thing. She said, how is she going to do it? I said, just write them. She said, okay, she's going to write them. And then she turned around the same day and asked me to pay her light bill.
Yeah. So you know what that's all about.
So I was like, okay, so this is why you came to apologize for this, you know?
So Anthony, so which field office did your 751 interviews?
Atlanta field office here.
How far apart were the two interviews?
Just 1 month.
Mm-hmm. And did you seem to feel like they were surprised you showed up the second time?
Yeah, they kind of, the lady was like, hey, she asked me, I came for interview last month. I was like, yeah. She said, why did they go ahead and schedule another interview? What is it for? She looked up. She said, well, since I'm here, that I should sit down, raise my hand up. I did that. And then she started asking me questions, you know. When did we get married? When did we? She asked me, so I lived in this residence until 2020. I said, yes, until the house was sold.
Did you bring any updated marital evidence to your 751 interviews?
Said what? Updated marriage?
Yeah. Did you bring more evidence to show that when you get called in for a 751 interview, you're being called in because you need to prove up the marriage. They're not happy so far that you've convinced them that the marriage was real. Do you understand that?
Mm-hmm.
So usually if we're going to a 751 interview, we're bringing updated marital evidence or updated marriage or evidence that you didn't submit before. And so I'm getting the sense that you didn't bring anything new when you went.
I did. On the second interview, when I went for the first time, I didn't get anything. But on the second one, when I found out, that's when I found out what she said about the divorce. So
how'd you find that out?
I went to the court because I was like, I went to the court and pulled the petition.
Wait. Did you bring that petition to the interview?
No.
Okay.
No.
What new evidence did you submit at your interview?
Proof of the money that I was sending to her, even when we were divorced, just like normal, because I didn't send it before. So I sent that and a letter, an affidavit from her daughter that lived with us too.
Oh, that's good. Okay.
Yeah, I submitted that too because I met her and I told her what her mother did. She was like, do you want me to talk to her? I said, she's already done it.
All right. So here's what I want to say, Anthony. And just real quick, what was your immigration status when you married this woman?
I was still in status, F1 student.
From where?
From Nigeria.
Were you ever married in Nigeria?
Yes.
And tell me about that divorce.
We were separated. We had issues. We separated.
Wait, but when you went to get the visit visa, you were married. I mean, when you went to get the student visa, you were married.
We were not divorced, but we were legally still married.
Right, but you didn't tell them when you got the student visa to come to the United States that you were about to get divorced, did you?
No, I didn't.
So that's a big problem because they've gone back to look at that divorce decree. And then, did you get divorced before you got on the plane to come to America from Nigeria or after?
After.
So you weren't physically present in Nigeria when you got divorced?
Yes, I divorced. My divorce was done here in the U.S.
Oh, so you divorced her like in an American court?
Yes.
Good. Okay, good. So that's a valid divorce. Okay, that makes me happy. Okay. So I'm not your lawyer, but if I were your lawyer, what I would be doing right now. So you have to understand something. When you file a jointly filed 751, you and your spouse file it together and you send them that evidence, right?
Yes.
Then if you later say, oops, my bad, we're getting divorced, I need to convert this to a good faith marriage exemption for the joint filing requirement. When you do that, you can't just do that. Like, you can, but that's really dumb. You need to prove the case all over again because now it's a very different case, right? So, if you're filing jointly and you give them enough marital evidence, that's the end of it and everybody's happy. But when you try to convert it from what we call a jointly filed 751 to a solo, you need a whole lot more evidence explaining the nature of the relationship. And you in particular need that because you need to explain all the paperwork that's out there in the world about Anthony's marriage to this lady. And one of those pieces of paper includes a complaint that she filed against you for divorce in which it states that you abandoned her in 2019. So if I'm an immigration officer inquiring into your 751 and I'm working for the fraud unit in the Atlanta field office, and I drive down to Fulton County Courthouse to get the divorce decree from Anthony and his U.S. citizen wife, and I see, whoa, look at this. Look at this. She filed for divorce. And in her divorce, she said that he abandoned her in 2019. You need a whole lot more evidence than other people filing a 751 solo, because we have to prove the whole case. So to me, you haven't even started to prove what you need to prove to get your 10-year green card. Like, you've done the bare minimum and you're behind a lot because of the damage that she did. Getting that letter from her daughter is a good start, but that's not nearly enough. That's just scratching the surface of the level of evidence you're going to need to convince them that your marriage was real and not for the purposes of obtaining an immigration benefit. I think you can win this case, but you've barely started. The reason they're sitting on it, it's 3 years old now. They're not convinced that this marriage was ever real. They've seen the movie before of the person getting the non-immigrant visa to come to the United States while married, getting divorced. They've seen all this stuff before. So you have a very high burden to prove it. I think you can, but I think even if I were your lawyer and I did everything humanly possible to make your case as strong as possible, I still think you're talking a 20 or 30% chance because she's done so much damage.
What do you recommend I do now?
I think if you're smart, you'll hire me or some other lawyer to help start building your case. Your case hasn't been built properly. It's all shaky. So if you want to email us and say, I'm Anthony, I was on the show with Jim on Saturday and I need help with my 751 solo, I think that's what I would do.
Okay, I'm gonna email you. Do you know like how much it would cost?
Oh, probably like $6,000 or $8,000.
Okay, I'm gonna email you.
Okay.
And but I talked to my, I emailed my lawyer, asked him if he was like, okay, that I should wait until they make a decision.
That's really dumb because you need to win now. You don't want to think about an appeal or filing another one. You want to win right now. You don't want a bad decision against you, and you want to do as much as you can. I mean, we're going to have to make her look bad. We're going to have to make her look inconsistent if she's got convictions for marijuana, whatever. We're going to have to throw the book at her. But before we do that, we're going to get your whole statement. And then when one of these days comes up where she's like, hey, baby, I'm really sorry I did this to you. Let's try to make up. Okay, let's try to make up. But first, we got to get your whole statement. And I got this lawyer, and he needs to interview you and get you to sign this form that says this is everything that happened and the truth, right?
Mm-hmm. Okay. I'm gonna email you, and I'll tell you my name, and around this time that I spoke to you.
Thanks, Anthony.
Okay. Can you give me the email again?
Sure, I'll put it up on the screen. It's info@hackingimmigrationlaw.com. Here it is right here. Info at
okay, I just screenshot it.
Hacking, that's me, hackingimmigrationlaw.com.
Okay, I'm going to email you.
Thanks, Anthony.
Thank you.
Bye, buddy. We got a couple minutes left. Let's go to Albert's been waiting for a while. Hello, Albert. You're on mute or something. I can't hear you.
Oh, sorry. Hi, Jim.
How you doing?
Good. Thank you for using my.
Sure.
I have a question about my daughter. I have asylum status from back 2016, and I haven't yet adjusted my green card permanent resident status. I'm still in asylum status.
Why?
Because I was in California in 2017. I got reckless driving conviction. And that was Trump administration. I was scared to apply.
Oh, no. Go ahead and apply.
Okay. And now I want to bring my daughter. Do you think I can bring her as asylum derivative status?
How old is she?
She's 15 years old.
Yeah, maybe wait, then file an I-730 for her, and then maybe figure out if you're going to do the green card. But yeah, you should apply for her right away.
Okay, awesome. Yep.
That's it?
Also, I have a mother who has a green card, and she left the country. She came, adjusted her status, got her green card because also my sister is a citizen, and after getting a green card, she went back to her citizenship country, and which is Kazakhstan, and now she's past 6 months, and I'm worried that she will lose her green card because
Tell her come back right now. Come back right now. Because we can get permission. We can get permission for her to be gone for 2 years, but that 6 months is really bad. Have her come back right away. And then she can get what's called a reentry permit, and that'll let her stay out for 2 whole years, but keep her green card. That's what she needs to do if she's going to be gone for big chunks of time.
But she has her pension back in Kazakhstan, and she doesn't want to come here because here she doesn't have a pension and she doesn't want to work.
But just have her come see you for 2 weeks, come visit her family, and then go back. She can stay out for 2 whole years once. But right now I need her to come back so I can file for the reentry permit to give her permission to be out for 2 whole years. Do you understand?
Yeah, got it.
But she has to come back right away. That's the most important thing.
Okay, got it. Thank you, Jim. Yep.
Bye, Albert. See you, buddy.
Yep. Thank you. Yep.
Thanks. You got it. All right. Smart and Sexy's here. What do you say, Smart and Sexy? Ha, there I am. I see myself. How you doing? You're on mute.
About that. Okay.
No worries.
Hi, Jim. I have a question about my case.
Okay.
So I applied. My son applied for me. He's 22, and we did the 130 and 495, 765 with a waiver because I stayed here too long, and I also worked while I was here. So yeah. They responded to the I-485. Fingerprint was taken, and then they asked for an RFE, which was sent.
What was the
RFE? It was proof of legal entry.
And do you have that?
I did. I applied for it. I don't remember the name of the form, but something replacement I-94 something.
So how did you actually enter, and when did you actually enter?
I entered here back in 1998 on a B1 visa.
And you don't have any proof of that?
Oh no, I got a proof for the replacement. They were able to find the I-94.
Great. And what about your old passport? Where's that?
That's missing.
Oh shit. Okay. All right.
So they sent me the copy, the I-94 copy, and they sent it to me and they requested as RFE. So what they sent me is what I sent back to them.
Funny. That sounds like them. Yeah.
I know.
Just to be clear, your son's a U.S. citizen. You've been here forever. So like sort of you came here in 98, 99. Then you had a kid, and then and you never left. And then once that kid turned 21, that kid filed an I-130 for you.
Right.
Okay. You don't need a waiver.
I was working.
Don't need a waiver.
Okay.
As long as you're honest as long as you can prove your valid entry, as long as you can prove that he's your son, as long as you can prove you never claimed you're a U.S. citizen or voted, you should be good to go. That you don't need waivers for those things. Because you're an immediate relative. That's the parent of a U.S. citizen, the spouse of a U.S. citizen, or the underage child of a U.S. citizen. So you should be in good shape, and you didn't need to file that waiver. And even if you did need to file that waiver, you filed it too early.
Okay. What my concern is, they kept updating the I-485, but they never touched the I-130 or the 765, the work permit, which right now is the most important thing to me, but no update on that. But they kept updating under the 485.
Yeah,
2 weeks ago.
That's okay. 2 weeks ago, what?
2 weeks ago, they update saying that they received the RFE, and that's the last.
What's the receipt date on the I-130?
The receipt date was June 20th.
Oh yeah, lady. Sorry, you got a long way to go. You got about a year wait, and your case is complicated. So you're talking your work permit probably won't come until January or something.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, you've been out of status for 24 years, and you barely have proof of a valid entry.
No, I do. The I-94.
That's barely proof.
Okay.
Real proof is I have my stamp in my passport. That's something that they can't mess around with.
Mhm.
A replacement I-94, as you say, they generated it, or CBP generated it, but it's not the best thing in the world. So I think if I were your lawyer and I got an RFE like that, I would have not only sent in the replacement I-94, but I would have submitted a bunch of secondary evidence to establish that you were here and have stayed here the whole time, because I think that's the whole shooting match on this case.
Mhm. Okay.
Any other questions?
No. I'm all set. Thank you so much.
Have a great day.
Okay.
All right, everybody. That'll do it for today's show. We'll be back on Monday at 4 p.m., our usual time, Monday at 4 p.m. for episode 443. Have a great weekend. Thank you all for joining us. Thanks for all of our guests. Go Tottenham. Go. Come on, you Spurs. That's what I'm supposed to say. Come on, you Spurs. Bye, everybody.